Thank you so much for the welcome, and it's really an honor to be here to talk to you. I hope you're enjoying this event, this year's Masterclass. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Richard Bedenham. I live here in Cyprus. Grew up in South Africa. I live in Limassol with my wife and my 2 kids. So I've been in Cyprus for some time. My journey in revenue management started in 2010. I started at St Raphael Resort, Lewis Hotels. I had my own consultancy business for some time. So I've been in all of these different positions, you know, from yielding to revenue management to consultancy to sales to internet sales. So I've got a very kind of mixed experience over the past 14 years. This year I became the Director of PrimalRMS, and PrimalRMS is specializing in revenue management systems for hotels. It is a webhotelier primalRES group company. So on my journey over the past 14 years, I've picked up quite a few things on revenue culture. So what I'd like to do is share my insights on revenue culture. So the agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about revenue culture. I'm going to tell you about my 3 pillars of revenue culture. We're going to have a look at a couple of AI-powered tech stacks that we have. I don't want to burden you too much with too much technical stuff. Some key takeaways, and then some final thoughts. So let's get started. What is revenue culture? Well, revenue culture is basically people and technology coming together, right? Driving guest experiences. So all of these things are constantly working together. We're talking about working relationships, data, technology, collaboration, and guest insights. All of those things is revenue culture. But who cares about revenue culture at the end of the day, right? There are those that are highly invested in revenue culture and those that are less invested. So we've got GMs and owners and e-commerce and revenue and sales and marketing teams and front office teams and reservations, even the accounts teams, you know, they're all highly invested. And then we've got those that are kind of less invested, right? Housekeeping, operations, F&B, you know, people that manage the pools, beaches, et cetera, But the truth is that every single one of the people I just mentioned has a role in revenue culture. So they might be indirectly but powerfully contributing to revenue culture at the end of the day. So housekeeping, you know, it's all about positive reviews, you know, that has an impact. Operations, security, it's got to be a safe environment at the end of the day, right? So everybody across the whole hotel drives guest satisfaction and fuels revenue at the end of the day. So my big question to everybody in the room is kind of, where are you at with your own revenue culture? Because everybody's experiencing it, right? So I'd like you to do this kind of self-assessment. You don't have to do it now, but there's a number of questions to get this kind of conversation started, which is, you know, are all of your teams working together towards shared goals? Do you have shared goals? Or is everybody kind of working independently? Is there guest focus going on? Are you taking data-driven decisions? Do you have a revenue management system? I put that in green. So does everyone know their role in driving revenue? Can you adjust to market changes? The market is so dynamic. I mean, if there's a war or there's an event or anything that's going on, it's like it changes so quickly. So can your revenue culture adapt to what's going on? And are you thinking about short-term wins all the time, or are you thinking strategically? So how do you build revenue culture, right? I want to talk a little bit about my 3 pillars of revenue culture, of how you should build revenue culture. My first one is time. Nobody can save time. If we could all save time, you know, we would, but we can't. Time is just constant, right? Mother Teresa puts this down really well. She said, yesterday's gone, tomorrow is yet to come. We only have today, so let us begin. So time is a big thing, right? How we spend our time personally, how we spend our time professionally, it matters. So personally, you may spend it with friends, with family, so on and so forth. Professionally, it may be getting consumed by data processing or relationships or strategic thinking or time at work. So when it comes to the first pillar, there's two kind of opposing mindsets. One are the solo all-stars that are thinking in terms of time savings, right? Who are constantly rushing, focused on the short term, collaborations are very brief, and they see time as scarce. You know, I'm always running out of time, you know. And then on the other side of it, we've got team heroes, okay, which are the time investors, okay? So they're depth-driven, there's a long-term focus, there's more collaboration going on, and they see time as a resource, okay? So they're investing their time. And I just want to thank all of you for investing your time coming to this event, because you've made an investment, a time investment. The other big pillar is responsibility. This is my second pillar. So I love this quote. It is from Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility, okay? So responsibility, when it comes to strategic decision-making, includes all these things. There's ownership, collaboration, accountability, who's doing what. All of these things work together to drive strategic thinking. But again, there's two opposing views here. You have the solo all-star view, and you also have the team heroes view, okay? So a solo all-stars approach to responsibility is that everything is on them, right? There's high risk of burnout. They have a limited perspective because they're thinking in terms of time savings, not time investment. Missed opportunities, slow reaction, responsibility overload. But team heroes, on the other hand, there's diverse perspectives going on. There's more of a team collaboration going on. There's more input, okay? So it's faster, it's sustainable, it's more balanced at the end of the day, and it's collaborative. So there's a lot of strength from shifting from that, thinking in terms of solo all-stars over to team heroes. My third pillar is RMS technology. So Bill Gates lays this down quite good, where he says the advance of technology is based on making it fit in so that you don't really even notice it, so that it's a part of your everyday life. So it's that fluid. You know, it's got to be that fluid. It can't be, it can't be blocks that don't really work well together. Okay, but again, when it comes to this, there's two different views here. There's the solo all-stars that see technology as a cost. That's where they're dealing with lots of separate systems or systems that don't talk to each other. There's a lot of manual data processing going on. And then we've got team heroes on the other side that is more data-driven, right? And they see technology as an investment. So I just want to encourage everybody to shift from this seeing technology as a cost and see it as an investment. You know, you're investing it, just like you're investing your time. And it's a completely different way of thinking about it. So how do you build revenue culture? Well, you implement these three pillars. You shift from being a time saver, because you can't save time, to being a time investor. You choose the shared responsibility approach. If it's a shared responsibility, I just want to emphasize on that. The burden is shared. You know, it's not only going to be one person that's going to be contributing to revenue culture or revenue management. It doesn't and shouldn't work like that, just in my opinion. So a shared responsibility approach, definitely the way forward. And the other thing is RMS technology. So choose data-driven AI RMS systems and look at technology as an investment, not as a cost. While we're on the subject of RMS technology, I won't dwell too much on the technology stacks, but we've got our own revenue management system product. All of you are familiar with the primalRES webhotelier ecosystem. PrimalRMS is the name of the company. It sits between the two. Hotelizer represents a PMS. So we're talking about hotel data, competitor data. I think I'm missing half the thing there. Pricing, yielding, forecasting, recommendations. All of those elements make up an AI AI-powered revenue management system, you know? But keep in mind that revenue culture drives it. If you don't have revenue culture, it doesn't matter what system you have. I just want to put that out there. It's live. We started onboarding clients now into the system. It's got a dashboard. It's got a whole bunch of features, but I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. Just wanted to kind of show you visually what it looks like. The other one, as you know, we represent BeyondXRMS. Fantastic top integrations with the top PMS companies in the world. It has a very unique tour operator contracts module built into it as well. So when we were talking about total revenue management, no one can ignore tour operating. You know, it's there, it's a part of the story, everybody's involved with it. So having a module where you have everything in context at the same time, super important, along with all of the other stuff as well. It's just a snapshot of what it is or how it works, but we don't have to stay on that too long. So some key takeaways from me, the main insights. Recognize that all team members contribute to overall revenue success, okay? Understand that one or more people makes a team. So if you're not in a large chain or an independent hotel and you're just one person that has a few villas, if someone's helping you, you have a team, you know, and you can create a revenue culture, you know? So revenue culture is for everybody. Try the revenue culture assessment, kind of see where you stand, and implement these 3 pillars of revenue culture, which is shift from the mindset of the time saver and become the time investor. Adopt a shared revenue responsibility approach. I can't emphasize that enough. I think that's really important to have shared responsibility. If one person in the team wins, the whole team wins, you know? If something went wrong, it's everybody. So it's a shared thing. And this responsibility thing applies to the whole team, owners, GMs, all of that kind of stuff, the entire team. So I really think the shared responsibility is important. And the other thing is looking at technology as an investment and not as a cost. So yeah, closing thoughts. So Mother Teresa laid it down at the beginning. Socrates can close it up and say, you know, as we begin, let us remember true change is not about fighting the old, but about building the new. So join Team Heroes. I hope you enjoyed that.